Not gonna lie, this is definitely my new favorite game mode. So why not treat it like a real game mode and give you some strategies for it? Alright, so since it's a 2v2, it's usually the best idea to have one goalie and one person on offense. So the question is, who and how should you play when you're on offense? The main thing you want when you're on offense is ball control. Secondary things you want are big hitboxes and preferably fast sigs. You also want to focus on where your attacks will send players, because that's also where it'll send the ball. So if it's going to throw someone backwards, such as Barraza's neutral sig or Val's neutral sig, then you need to make sure that you're on the opposite side of the ball, otherwise you're going to score on yourself. So I'm sure that when a lot of you heard ball control, you instantly thought of the scythe or gauntlets, because those are two weapons that allow you to control the enemy's movement. And that's cool. A lot of people on offense do like to go for the scythe or the gauntlets. I can't play with the scythe because I'm not good at it. And the gauntlets, I find the hitboxes to be a bit too small, so I like to focus on the second aspect, which is big hitboxes. So of course I like using the axe, and especially Jala and Barraza, because their neutral sigs can send the ball straight into the goal from spawn, and their side sigs are great because they'll send the ball at such an angle that it'll go right into the other goal. Now, of course, these are just my suggestions. If you're better with a weapon, then that's probably the weapon you should use. Some people like sword, so, again, just you want to have high dexterity characters and ideally high movement characters as well. Alright, so now that we have offense out of the way, we can move on to defense. Now for defense, you just want a SIG that can cover a lot of area, hopefully above you because the goal is quite tall, and you also want it to last a bit in case you mess up. So for this, there's a few options. You want to be very Lucian. I'm not joking. Lucian has the best SIG for this with his guitars. His neutral SIG, it lasts a long time, and it sends the ball forward, and it also goes high enough. It would be 8 up, but her SIG doesn't jump high enough, and it sends her too far forward. Lucian is by far the best goalie out of anyone, and whoever has a Lucian on their team tends to win. Right, so now that we've got the basics out of the way, I want to talk about some tips and tricks. So a lot of characters and weapons can send the ball straight into the goal from spawn, such as Jala or Scythe, and this can be good for the second or third goals, but you don't want to do it too often because the enemy will just start countering you and you won't have anything to do. So I would just suggest getting those second and third to catch them off guard, and then for your fourth and fifth goals, just playing normally, trying to side sig. And then for the first goal, what you want to do is just run up and nair with your unarmed. And the enemy's probably going to try and do this as well, so you want to make sure that you nair a bit higher than them. So that way, once the ball leaves their kicks and stuff, then it'll enter your nair, and it'll go straight to the goal if they don't have someone blocking already, which a lot of times they won't. Now that we have the basic strategies out of the way, we can talk about some more interesting ones. So normally you just want to go one goalie and one attacker, because that's basically the meta. But there's some more interesting things. You could go for 2 attackers, which I wouldn't suggest. You could go for 2 goalies, but more interesting strategies. One is goalie bullying, where basically if you have a really good attacker that can just control the ball and basically play goalie and attacker, then what you can do is go into the enemy's goal and just hit them and stun them so that they're not able to defend. This works better if you have more than 2 players on each team, but it can work in 2s. Just watch out, because if you get hit into the enemy's goal, it will KO you, and then you'll have to respawn. Now, this update being primarily about him, Raymond is going to have his own section in this video. So, you may be wondering, is he good at his own game? And, kind of. His axe neutral sig is very good for hitting it into the goal, like from anywhere on the map, as long as you're not in your goal, because then it would hit it too high. Of course, it doesn't hit grounded, so the ball would need to be doing a bit of bouncing, as if like it came off kickoff or something. His down sig with the gauntlets can be good for blocking, but it is a bit slow. His side sig with the gauntlets is pretty useless. Same with neutral sig. He's not very good, I have to say, especially just compared to the other people. but it is definitely interesting to play him. Well, that's the video, folks. All in all, it's a really fun game mode. I would highly suggest playing it. If you can ever get together a group of 6 people or 8 people to try out different numbers, I would suggest doing that as well. Um, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want me to make more Brawlhalla videos, like maybe a frag movie or just some cool goal saves and scores, then, you know, just comment below or whatever. And you'll hear me next time. Bye. That's not how I stop recording.